Hey everybody, my name is Shruti Ramanujam and I'm back again for the second session of this workshop series. And I see a lot of familiar faces in the attendee list as of now. So to everyone who attended yesterday's workshop and has joined again today, welcome back. And to the new people that we see here in the list of attendees, welcome to your first workshop on O365 Manager Plus. So if you missed yesterday's workshop, you do not have to worry at all because I will not be calling back to any of the features that we discussed yesterday. So we are not going to be calling back to or discussing anything that we already covered in yesterday's workshop. And that being said, we can also send a recording over to you if you need a recording of yesterday's workshop if you missed it. So do drop your email addresses in the chat box that you see on your screen, and we will get back to you with the recording as soon as it's ready. And you can, of course, always ask for today's recording too. So there's that. So once again, welcome to today's workshop on O365 Manager Plus, and the particular topic that we are going to cover today is management. We are going to see how you can manage users' identities and their access rights over different Office 365 services. So it's going to be fully about access management and identity management today. So we are going to be doing different things like user creation during onboarding, or we will be looking at how you can assign licenses, or how you can, create help desk roles to like manage different mailbox permissions. So these are all the different kinds of things that we will be looking at today. Once again, this workshop will be pretty small. I'll just be taking up maybe half an hour to 45 minutes of your time today. So you do not have to worry about, spending a lot of time trying to figure out what O365 Manager Plus is. It's actually a really easy tool, and that's what we are going to look at in today's workshop. So before we go any further, once again, the usual information. If you have any questions, any kind of questions whatsoever, you can use the chat box that you see on your screen and you can shoot those questions out to us. We have Ram from tech support who's manning the chat box right now. So any question that you ask, he will make sure that they are replied to immediately. So you do not have to worry about your messages getting lost. So you can just like shoot any message you have out and we will get back to you immediately. And even if we're not able to answer any of your questions during the session, we can get back to you after the end of the workshop via email because we already have your email addresses. So you do not have to worry. So let's jump right into today's workshop. As always, we are going to be starting with exactly what the limitations are when it comes to the Office 365 Admin Center. So the native Office 365 portal has a few limitations when it comes to Office 365 management. And that's something that we are going to discuss today. Office 365 management is what I am going to show you today. And I'm going to show you how you can manage different aspects of Office 365 using O365 Manager Plus. So the native portal has a few limitations and I've listed some of them out right here. So you can just take a look at these. For example, what's usually missing in the Office 365 portal is this word that I've repeated here all over this list: in bulk. So whenever there is a routine administration task that needs to be carried out over multiple aspects, like if you want to manage multiple mailboxes at a time, you cannot do that using the Office 365 portal. So you can only carry it out for one mailbox at a time, and several routine administration tasks are generally missing. Like you cannot configure multi-factor authentication for multiple users at once. You cannot modify mailbox attributes in bulk, and you cannot create user accounts. I mean, you can, but you cannot modify their attributes in bulk. You cannot modify group attributes in bulk. So these are all just a few limitations that are present in the Office 365 portal. And as people who generally use it every day, I'm sure that you can point out more things, more limitations when it comes to the Office 365 portal. If there's anything, if you just want to rant about certain things that the Office 365 portal doesn't do, use the chat box, because anytime you tell us what your problems are, we are going to make sure that O365 Manager Plus helps you out there. We are going to be releasing new features if we do not already cater to any of the problems that you're already facing. So do let us know if there are any other limitations that you want to mention, and I can also point you to the right feature in O365 Manager Plus, which helps you address that particular problem. So these are just some of the few limitations that are present in O365. I mean, in the native tools that O365 Manager Plus helps address. So let's jump right into the agenda for today so that you can see exactly how O365 Manager Plus helps you perform everything that I've mentioned here. So we are just going to be doing 4 tiny tasks today. They are actually 4 important tasks that you will be performing at some point in your life as an administrator. But these are just 4 simple tasks that when you do them, when you perform them using O365 Manager Plus. So these are the 4 tasks we will be performing today. The very first thing we will be looking at is how you can make user onboarding easier by creating multiple user accounts at once. So I will be using a CSV file. I will import that CSV file into O365 Manager Plus, and I will show you exactly how easy user onboarding can be. And then we will be seeing how you can assign licenses to multiple users at once. Again, multiple being the keyword here. This is something that you cannot do with the native Office 365 Admin Center. And then I'm going to show you how you can use this tool to list out all users with a mailbox and how exactly you can change these mailbox users' access rights over other mailboxes. And finally, one other thing that the O365, I mean Office 365 portal doesn't allow you to do is create custom help desk technician roles. You have standard default roles that you can use, such as like password administrator, Skype for Business administrator, and so on. But you cannot customize your help desk technician roles using the Office 365 Admin Center, whereas O365 Manager Plus helps you do exactly that. So I'll be showing you how exactly you can do that. So these are just 4 simple tasks, but I'm sure you can understand how important these tasks are for you. So that's what we are going to be looking at today. So let's jump right into the very first task for the day. And I see that a few people have joined quite recently. So you guys, if you missed yesterday's workshop, it's totally fine. Just drop your email addresses through the chat box that you see on your screen, and I will get back to you immediately. I'll send you a recording of yesterday's workshop. For the people who attended yesterday's workshop and haven't received the recording yet, please bear with us. We are in the process of converting the recording so that we can send you a neat recording. So you do not have to worry. By the end of this week, we will be sending you the recordings of yesterday's workshop. And if you want a recording of today's workshop, once again, do not worry. We will be emailing you the recording soon. So coming back right to the point where I veered off topic just a few minutes back. But anyway, this is the first task for today, and we will be looking at how you can create user accounts in bulk. And I'll be showing you how you can use a CSV file, how you can import a CSV file and create multiple user accounts at once. And as always, let's start with why exactly the admin center is a problem when it comes to doing this. The native Office 365 portal allows administrators to perform all operations relating to Azure AD management. Sure, I'll give it that. It actually does let you perform certain important tasks. However, there are some limitations that it has, and these are simple limitations, like it does not allow you to modify the attributes of multiple users simultaneously. You cannot modify the attributes of multiple groups simultaneously. Or let's say if you've deleted multiple users and you want to restore all these deleted users at once, you cannot do that using the Office 365 portal. Or even something as simple as changing the manager attribute cannot be done in bulk. So these are all simple administrative tasks that cannot be done using O365 Manager Plus. Now I know that our topic is user creation right now, but bear with me for a minute. I'm going to switch to the product screen. I'm going to log in. Oh, great. Hold on, just give me a minute. I will log into the tool. Yeah, okay. So I had that screen on for a really long time. Anyway, So what I was going to show you is the management tasks that you can perform using O365 Manager Plus, and these are the tasks that you cannot perform using the native Office 365 portal. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the management tab, and for people who attended yesterday's workshop, you'd remember that we focused on the reports tab throughout, whereas today this is the tab that I'm going to be aiming for. So yeah, so this is the tab that I'm going to be aiming for. Let's go to management, and then under Azure Active Directory, something as simple as user management. Look at all the bulk activities that you can perform using O365 Manager Plus. You can create users, and this is bulk user creation, by the way. So it helps you create multiple user accounts at once. You can import a CSV file to do this. You can assign licenses during user creation, or you can even do it later on. And then you can modify several attributes about users. I told you how the admin center does not allow you to modify attributes of multiple user accounts at once, but you can do that using O365 Manager Plus. You can restore users in bulk. You can change or you can configure their multi-factor authentication settings and so on. But that's not what we're going to look at today. This is about user creation. So I spoke a little about user management, but when it comes to user creation, onboarding is always going to be a difficult time for HR, right? And not just HR, it's going to be a problem for you because you'll just be sitting at work doing your own thing and everything, and you suddenly get an email from HR which says, hey, you need to onboard this list of users in like half an hour today. How exactly are you going to do that? How exactly are you going to create user accounts for all the users or all the new employees that the HR has emailed you about? That's going to be a problem, right? Because you're going to depend on multiple tools in order to create different user accounts. Whereas if you used O365 Manager Plus, all you need to do is come here, user creation with license, because HR has asked you to assign licenses too. Select the licenses that you want these user accounts to have. I'm just going to choose Office 365, but you can make sure that they have the Azure Rights Management license and the Power BI Standard license. But for now, let's just go with Office 365. Choose the usage location. So United States, that's what we're going to choose. Now, I've chosen United States. Choose the Office 365 tenant. For me, it's just one because I'm using a test setup right now to demonstrate actions for you guys. And now I'm going to import a CSV file which contains the LDAP attributes of all the user accounts that need to be created right now. So I already have a CSV file ready for you guys. So just give me a minute while I open it for you. So it's right here. It's called onboard users. So this is a sample file that I created for you guys so that I could demonstrate how exactly you can create user accounts using O365 Manager Plus. So I'm going to browse and choose that particular CSV file. This is the file that HR has sent to me. I'm going to click open, click import users, and that's it. All these user accounts have been imported, and now all I need to do is click this one little green colored button, and all these user accounts are going to be created for me. If there are no errors with LDAP attributes, all these user accounts are going to be created, and you can see all the details that I've imported. These were all present in the CSV file right here. I had details like the first name and the last name, the user principal name, the display name, usage location, and so on. And they're all right here. Do you see it? Every single information that I inputted using the CSV file, and that's it. This was just a sample CSV file containing maybe 5 users. See, there are exactly 5 here, but I'm sure you get the picture, you get the point here, because HR is not that understanding about how important or how busy an administrator's tasks are. So if they contact you in the last minute ever again, if you use O365 Manager Plus, all you need to do is import a CSV file. How much time did this take? You guys were right here with me. You were watching me do this. You were watching me create 5 user accounts from scratch. How much time did that take? It took maybe less than a minute. So that's how easily you can onboard users into your organization, and you can create user accounts, you can assign licenses to them. You can do all of this in under a minute if you use this tool. So that I believe is one of the strongest points of O365 Manager Plus. And if you use Active Directory, of course, we have another tool called AD Manager Plus, which helps you create user accounts not just in AD, but also in Office 365. You can create Exchange mailboxes. You can provision users in Skype for Business and Exchange and so on. So it helps in parallel provisioning. So that's another tool and that's a story for another day. But anyway, so this is what O365 Manager Plus helps you do. So that's it for the first task for the day. Let's move on to the second thing that we will be looking at today. So we are going to be seeing how you can assign licenses to multiple users at once. How are you going to bulk assign licenses to a bunch of different users? So Microsoft licenses. So this is something that we went over in detail in yesterday's workshop. Microsoft licenses are not exactly cheap. And if you need to help with IT cost management in your organization, you need to make sure that the use of licenses is being optimized. You need to manage your Office 365 licenses so that you optimize your use of available licenses and available resources, which is why you can use O365 Manager Plus in order to assign or revoke, remove licenses. You can do anything. So let me just switch to the product screen quickly and I can show you exactly what I'm trying to say here. Once again, the management tab is what we're looking for. Under Azure Active Directory, there's something called license management. There's just one option here, license modification. Seemingly simple, but this is actually a really great feature of O365 Manager Plus. So from this small screen, you can assign or remove licenses, you can modify them, you can remove these licenses, select the users for whom you want to assign, remove, revoke, or modify licenses. So those are 4 actions. So choose the users, click apply, and that's it. That's how you are going to modify licenses for multiple users in a single click using O365 Manager Plus. So the task, this particular task has to do with assigning licenses to a bunch of users. So let's select assign selected licenses. Select the licenses. What license do you want to apply to these users? So let's say I'm going to apply the Power BI standard license to a particular user. I can of course choose all 3 too. But I'm just going to go with Power BI right now. So choose Power BI. Usage location, United States again. Office 365 tenant, there's a drop down menu for you. Use that. Now, there are 3 different options, 3 different means through which you can select the users for whom we are going to apply the Power BI standard license to. So you can import a CSV file. So just have a CSV file, a CSV file which has the LDAP attributes of all the users whose licenses need to be modified. Click browse. You can import the CSV file. You can enter the name to search. So if you're going to search for someone named John, so just type John into this field right here, and all the Johns in your organization are going to be listed out. Choose the John for whom you want the license to be applied to and click apply. Or there's the third option, which I like the most, especially because I'm using a test setup here and I know, you can always trust the test setup to have data for John because it's a common name and that's what everyone goes for when they're creating test user accounts. But anyway, why exactly is this my favorite? What you do in order to list out all the user accounts that are already available is this. Leave this field blank and just click find. It's just going to list out all the user accounts that are available and you can pick the few accounts to which you want the Power BI standard license to be applied. So I'm going to randomly choose, oh look, there's another John here. So let's choose this John and this other random test account. So to these 2 user accounts, or let's say 3 multiple user accounts. So there are 3 user accounts to whom I am going to apply the Power BI standard license to. And what do I have to do for that? Just click apply. It's as simple as that. All you need to do is select the users for whom you want the licenses to be applied. It's just as simple as clicking on the checkbox and clicking apply. That's 2 clicks. Isn't that amazing? You don't have to go back and forth trying to assign licenses individually to every single user account that you want to assign licenses to. All you need to do is click the find button, leave the space blank, click the find button, list out all the user accounts, choose the user accounts for whom you want the license to be applied, and click apply. That's all. That's how simple managing licenses is using O365 Manager Plus. And then the third task for the day has to do with how you can manage mailbox users. So what we're essentially going to do in this task is we are going to list out all the mailbox users that are present in your organization, and then we are going to use that report. So I'm going to show you a report which will list out all the mailbox users, and then I will use that report itself to change the permissions that users have over the mailboxes that I select. So that's exactly what we're going to do. And this is just to show you how O365 Manager Plus helps you manage user accounts or mailboxes or any Office 365 resource. You can manage any of these through the reports that you are looking at. You can see how easy this is going to be, because let's say you're viewing details about certain select mailboxes and you don't want, or let's say they are important mailboxes and you've been asked to give someone else full access permission over these mailboxes. So you can just it's as simple as selecting these mailboxes and clicking the assign permission button. And if I'm not making any sense, I'm going to switch to the product screen to demonstrate it for you so that it's easier. So to list mailbox users, we are looking for a report. So let's go to the reports tab. The report is going to be present under the general reports category. It's the very first report that you see right here, mailbox users. And this report is going to list out all the mailbox users in your organization. So it shows you the display name of the mailbox, the email address, the alias, the user principal name, and the recipient type. And as I mentioned yesterday, if you need any more information from this particular report, you just need to click the add or remove columns. You can add custom attributes. You can find out if it's a legacy DN, the maximum send and receive size can be viewed, and so on. So just add columns to this side and click save, and this report will have more data. But that's not what we're going to look at. I told you that you can list mailbox users and you can change the mailbox permissions for these mailboxes. So let's say I want to change mailbox permissions for John again and this particular random user account. There's a very small and seemingly harmless drop-down menu called Manage. Right, click it, and you can see all the different kinds of tasks that you can perform right from the report. And what I promised you was a mailbox permission change. You can see the task right here. But in addition to this, you can enable mailbox audit logging for these mailboxes. You can set a forwarding address. You can set a storage limit. You can convert the mailbox to a different kind of mailbox. You can put it on litigation hold and so on. But what we are going to look at is mailbox permission changes. So let me click mailbox permission changes. And these are the two mailboxes that I've selected. Select the users or permissions who need to have access rights over these mailboxes. So let's say I want user 1 and test user to have full access rights over these two mailboxes. So I've chosen those two users. I need to select the permissions that they can have. Okay, let's change it to read permission. Let's not give them full access, but let's give them the read permission over these two mailboxes. Allow, it's not a deny permission, it's an allow permission. So I am going to allow these two users, user 1 and John Conteso. So these two users are going to have read permission over these two mailboxes. As soon as I click this very green apply button, and I've done it, it's going to take less than a minute. These two users are going to have permissions over those two mailboxes that I selected from the report. So management actions can be performed from the report tab in O365 Manager Plus. So that's it. And we are going to move on to the very last task for the day. And it is one of the coolest features of O365 Manager Plus, according to me. There are some features in O365 Manager Plus that I really like talking about. And this is one of them. It has to do with creating a custom help desk technician role. So I'm going to show you how exactly you can create or how you can customize the help desk technician role in O365 Manager Plus. So Office 365 allows you to work from anywhere in the world. However, the management features that it provides are a little insufficient. If your organization is spread across multiple countries, it's difficult for one administrator to single-handedly manage every user and mailbox. So having a couple of administrators in different regions helps overcome time zone issues, but it can also lead to chaos when multiple people take the reins. And this is something that we discussed yesterday. I was telling you how if you have multiple administrators in your IT infrastructure team, it can be a little difficult because one administrator performs one change, another administrator comes in when there's a problem, and troubleshooting cannot be easy because you did not know that administrator one made a particular change, he changed a particular configuration or configured something new. So it's just going to be a mess when there are different administrators. I'm not saying that there shouldn't be multiple administrator environments. I'm just saying there's more room for errors when you have more than one administrator in your Office 365 environment. So that's why having different administrators in different regions can still lead to problems in your environment. And it is to resolve this that Microsoft introduced the delegation feature in Office 365. And because of this, you can delegate admin rights to technicians. You don't need to give them full access to Office 365. You just give them limited access. You just give them it's role-based access control basically. So you give these technicians just little room to work with because there's just a certain portion of Office 365 that they need to work with. So the admin center does allow help desk delegation, which is a plus, right? But it still comes with limitations like every other thing in the Office 365 admin center. This also comes with limitations, and I'm not complaining here at all. That's the main reason why this product from ManageEngine is running. It's because of all the limitations in the Office 365 admin center. So the limitations that I'm talking about is this: you can only delegate technicians default roles in Office 365. They have like set roles. They say that you can just delegate password administrator, exchange administrator, Skype for business administrator. These are all set default delegation roles, and it's only these default roles that you can delegate to your help desk technicians. Whereas with O365 Manager Plus, you can customize these roles based on your own needs. So that's what I'm going to show you right now. I'm not going to show you how you can delegate to the help desk. I'm going to show you how you can delegate a custom role to your help desk. So let me switch to the product screen and show you how you can do that. There's a whole new tab for that called delegation. So let me move to that. And once again, since we were talking about, access control today, since today's workshop is all about access management and identity management, let's make a custom help desk role. Let's say that, I don't know, that the help desk technician can only manage mailbox access permissions. So I don't know if that's a situation that would ever arise where they would just allot a technician for just changing mailbox permissions. But, for the sake of demonstration, let's do that. So help desk technicians, this is your usual adding new technicians, but what we are looking for is help desk roles right here in the left hand side of the screen. You have a green button here, create new role, and that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to create a whole new help desk technician role here, and this particular breed of help desk technicians can go around changing mailbox access permissions. How cool is that? So let's give the role name as, I don't know, this is such a new role. What do we call it? Let's call it the permission changer, or let's call it the permission change technician. Obviously, this is just for the scope of demonstration, you guys. So if this is not too creative, don't mind me. This is just to show you exactly how you can customize like any kind of help desk technician role using O365 Manager Plus. But before that, you can see that there are five main tabs basically here, and using these tabs you can select different options. Like if you want your technician to do something as random as, I don't know, report on they should be able to access disconnected mailboxes, and if you want them to like be able to edit mailbox features and configure mailbox retention policy and so on, you can just go around selecting any of those checkboxes. I'm quickly going to unselect it because that's not what I'm going to show you today. But anyway, so a lot of options are going to be available here, as you can see, like mailbox, mail traffic, users, and so on. There are management actions that you can delegate. You can let your technician audit different aspects of your Office 365 environment. They can monitor your Office 365 features and endpoints, look at reports, and so on. Just go through all the checkboxes that are present here. Choose the checkboxes that you want the technician to be able to view or perform in your Office 365 environment and click Save. That's all you'll need to do. So for my role, I told you that I'm going to create a custom help desk role, which allows the technician to change mailbox permissions alone. So in order to do that, I just need to go to the Management tab, and under Mailbox, you have something right here, Mailbox Permission Changes. It's as simple as clicking this checkbox, and I click the Save button. So now a technician has been created, a role, a help desk role has been created called Permission Change Technician. I didn't choose to give a description, but you can of course give a description for it so that someone using O365 Manager Plus knows what exactly this role is. So now that I've created the new role, I go back to help desk technicians. I create a new technician. I want one particular technician who can log in, and all this technician will be able to see is mailbox permission changes. So this is the Office 365 tenant. Select an O365 user who will be able to access this, access O365 Manager Plus and be able to modify just the permissions. So let's just go with our favorite, John again. Click the add button. Choose the help desk roles that this particular user can have. So let's see. Yeah, permission change technician is the very uncreative role name that I gave. So that's the help desk role that John is going to have. Am I going to delegate any Office 365 tenants? Choose this, click add, and this help desk technician has been created. So once this technician has been created, you can log out, log in with John's credentials, and you will see that all John can do is change permissions. He will not have access to anything else in O365 Manager Plus. All he'll see is this particular option, mailbox permission changes. So John will click on it. He can go and access, modify any kind of mailbox permissions, but that's all John will be able to do. So that's how O365 Manager Plus helps you create your own custom help desk roles. And that's the last topic for the day. So that's it for today's workshop. Let's have a quick recap about what exactly we did in today's workshop. We saw how onboarding can be made easier by you creating user accounts in bulk. And all you need to do is import a CSV file into O365 Manager Plus for this. We saw how you can modify the licenses in bulk for multiple users. And what we specifically did was we chose a bunch of users and we assigned licenses to them. That's what we did. And you can use the same tool to revoke, remove, or modify any kind of license. And then we saw how you can list all the mailbox users in your organization. And we saw how O365 Manager Plus helps you manage different reports. You can perform management actions right from the reports that O365 Manager Plus provides. And finally, we saw how you can create a custom help desk technician role in order to perform a specific kind of task. So the example that I chose was mailbox permission changes, but I'm pretty sure you got the picture. If there are just certain restricted actions that you want your technician to perform, you can use this tool in order to create a custom help desk technician role, and you can assign a help desk technician to that role, or a technician or a lot of technicians. It's up to you. So that's how O365 Manager Plus helps you out. So these are just 4 key features from the tool that we saw today, but it does so much more than this. So if you need like a personalized demo, if you want to like list out what problems you have in your environment, and if you want to see how O365 Manager Plus helps you out, or if you have any specific questions that you did not ask through the chat box on your screen, you can always reach out to me. My email address is shruti@manageengine.com. So take note of my email address. You can always reach out to me. If you need a recording of this workshop, you do not have to worry. I will be sending it to you. You can just drop your email address again. If you missed yesterday's workshop, once again, you can ask for it. I will get back to you as soon as the recording is ready for you. And the next session of this workshop series is going to be tomorrow. So we will be looking at how you can use O365 Manager Plus to audit your Office 365 environment, which is even more important. I was telling you how I have certain favorite features in O365 Manager Plus. Our entire auditing functionality is my favorite. So we will be discussing that tomorrow. So I will be showing you how you can audit different changes that happen in your Office 365 environment. And I'll also be showing you how you can set up alerts so that you receive real-time notifications when any kind of critical change happens in your Office 365 environment. So we will be looking at all of this tomorrow. So tune in once again at 11 a.m. EDT, and you can listen to more about O365 Manager Plus. As always, if you have any questions, do reach out to us. But until tomorrow, this is Shruti signing off. Thank you very much. You guys have been a great attendee list today. Like, you guys have been a great audience, and I hope you have a great day today.